of the things in weddings, things that I regretted, things I wish I would have done differently, and things that I am absolutely entirely grateful for that my family helped with. So first I want to start with the things that I wish I would have done differently. The number one thing that I wish I would have done differently is I wish I would have got married closer to home. This isn't just because of the traveling as much as it was getting all of the decorations there, making sure we had everything. I couldn't forget anything. It was just a lot to handle and to try to remember, and I feel if you're getting closer to home, getting married closer to home, that you would be able to have a bridesmaid sneak off to go grab something or kind of know where things are. We had gotten married close to 2.5 hours away, and the time changed. That was really, really rough because when we were making the invitations, I had to make sure everyone knew that there was A, a time change, B, that it was far away, and C, I had to put hotels at the bottom. This was not necessary because a lot of the people ended up finding their own hotels to stay in, which was nice, but it also added extra steps for a bride like me who freaks out over everything. The next thing I wish I would have stuck to my guns on is my bridal party. When I first got engaged, the number one person I wanted in my bridal party was my half-sister, Mandolin. She was young at the time. I think she was maybe 15, 16. She is 9 years younger than me, so when I got engaged, it was no problem. She was going to be my maid of honor. She's the only one I wanted, to be honest. After talking to my fiance for probably 2-3 months, we had decided that we should include his sister in our wedding, which I was fine with. After we had included his sister, we decided that we could not leave out my stepsisters, so we had then included them. This meant 4 girls in the bridal party plus me. This was hard and confusing for the most part because they all live in different places, they all had different things going on, which was fine, but I kind of wish I would have just stuck to my guns with my sister and my now sister-in-law. I think that probably would have just been easier. The next thing I want to talk about is the colors for our wedding. I kind of just picked a color, any color, honestly. I had no meaning, no significant value to us. It was just what went well with sunflowers. That was my main thing I wanted at our wedding, was to literally throw up sunflowers pretty much. So I went into David's bridal, and when we were there's a girl who was trying on this nice blue sparkly-ish dress. It was so beautiful, and don't get me wrong, I really love the color. I just wish I would have thought more about it because I think I just jumped onto a bandwagon instead of really thinking and looking and understanding that this blue color was going to be very hard to find anything else to match. The next thing is that I wish I would have known is communicating with your vendors is so important, and I think that's part of the reason why now if I was to get married, I would want to get married super close to home, because when you're communicating with vendors 2.5 hours away, you're communicating over phones and emails and sometimes even text messages depending on the people. It was mostly emails. During that time, I think it was really hard for me to understand all of the things that was happening. I accidentally didn't even remember that I was supposed to pick up tablecloths the day before our wedding, so we didn't have tablecloths. It was fine. I don't think anyone even noticed. I think when you get married closer, you can meet with the vendors, and when you meet face to face, I think it's a lot easier to go over things and talk about things and remember the things. That's just my personal experiences and how I feel. So these are the next few things I want to talk about are things that I am so grateful for. The number one thing that I am grateful for is that my aunt made our wedding cake. When we were looking around at cakes, they wanted to charge us $4, $5, $6, $7, $8 grand for a wedding cake. We'd already put pretty much our entire savings account into this wedding. And spending $8,000 on a cake just made me want to throw up. My aunt was so gracious and made our wedding cake, and I cannot thank her enough for this. The next thing is I had a family friend take our wedding pictures. If I can, I'm still getting used to this editing, I will try to insert some here. If not, go to my Instagram down below and I'll post like a montage of them. And I cannot thank her enough. Wedding photographers are expensive, and I love these pictures. I also really love a lot of the pictures that everyone just took on their phones, to be honest. So I'm so grateful for that. The next few things that I am so grateful for is my grandma. My grandma helped me make my bouquet. She helped me pick the flowers to go in the bouquets. We got super lucky, and my maids of honors, I had walked into Michael's and there was I wonder if I can find a picture. If I find a picture, I'll try to insert one here. But it was just a bouquet already put together for literal pennies, it felt like. Honestly, I think it was like $2. But $2 bouquet for like 4 girls was amazing. I think that's one of the other things that I didn't point on but should be pointed on. Fake flowers. Fake flowers when you're traveling 2.5 hours away was the best idea my grandma had came up with. Mostly because they got crushed and hurt, and man oh man was that hard to travel 2.5 hours with fake flowers. I can't imagine traveling that far with real flowers or finding a vendor 2.5 hours away that would send me pictures. That freaked me out. So I'm super grateful for my grandma. The next thing I want to talk about is how grateful I am for my parents. My parents divorced when I was really little. I want to say kindergarten-ish, maybe even younger. But they had came together and helped me plan my wedding, had helped me decide on things that I needed for the wedding, made sure I had everything. Both of my parents have remarried, and their significant others were so amazing through this whole wedding planning thing. And I think that really helped me realize that I was not alone in this process. And I think that's a major thing when you're wedding planning, is you feel so alone. The next thing that I'm super grateful for was I think it was my sister Mandolin who sent it to me. She had saw it on Facebook, Instagram, something, that a bride had put little numbers on the bottom of her save the date cards. So on the bottom, on the back of the save the date card, there was numbers 1 through, I think we had like 250 guests or 200 and something. So I wrote little numbers on the bottom. So when guests would send back their RSVPs and they would not sign blah blah's name, I knew who it was, and that was such a lifesaver because I didn't have to reach out to everybody all over the place to try to figure out who just sent their RSVPs in and didn't sign them. God, that alone was such a nice little thing. The next thing that I'm really grateful for is that we had family that would help us with everything. Our centerpieces were huge, big Jack Daniel bottles with just sunflowers and some blue petals and cotton in them. We had a very rustic wedding. And to be honest, we had family members drinking Jack Daniels for probably months and weeks and forever long before our wedding, which I am so grateful for, and I am sorry if I made you sick. Those things really helped me. So I really am grateful for that. Some tips that I wish that other brides would have told me is wedding dress shopping. So this is a huge thing for me, and I'm still so upset about it. So me and my stepmom had gone into David's Bridal to try on some dresses. I had found the prettiest dress. I think I have a video. If I can insert the video off of my phone onto here, I will. If not, it'll be in the Instagram linked down below. But it was perfect. This dress was everything I'd ever dreamed of for my wedding dress. But it was strapless. So the girl had told me that they could overlay this lace piece under it and sew it in. I think it was 2 months before my wedding, we had found out when we went to go for my first fitting that they could not sew this lace beautiful short sleeve thing into my strapless dress. I was devastated. This made me want to cancel my wedding. When I say that I was devastated, I mean I almost canceled my entire wedding and eloped in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt at this point. I was so sad. David's Bridal usually does not let you return the dresses, but after being so upset and them pretty much telling me they could and then telling me they couldn't 2 months before my wedding, they decided that I'd be able to use it for my Flower Girls dresses and other things into the store. So I got like a store discount, which I didn't even want to use at this point because I was so upset with them. But whatever, I ended up doing it. So 2 months before my wedding, me and my stepmom were running around like crazy trying to find me a wedding dress. We had driven probably about an hour, hour and a half towards Chicago from me to this wonderful wedding boutique store. And I'd bought my dress off the rack. To me, this dress was crazy expensive. Like, I'm so grateful she bought this dress because...
Okay, go.
All right, Shelby, is this your dress?
Yes.
What I want you to close your eyes and make a wish for you and your fiance and your wonderful kids, and then I want you to ring the bell. Congratulations.
Oh my God. Perfect dress. I'm so grateful that my stepmom helped me find it, and she's been amazing through the entire thing. During the wedding ceremony, I wish that, one, we would have picked a cooler freaking season. It was the hottest day in June. I swear. It was like 100 and something. It was so hot. I really wanted a fall wedding, but the venue didn't have any open, so that just is what it is. But, like I said before, get married close to home so you can talk to these people and understand these things. And like us, we thought water was provided by the hall and the barn and where we were getting married. It was not. I think it was my now father-in-law, had to leave to go get water. I'm pretty sure it was him. If not, whoever left to go get water, I'm so grateful for you. So we had to pick up water literally the day of my wedding. I think during, like, hours before my wedding had started. Which, so grateful that my family had just came together, figured it out, and made it happen. So if you would like to subscribe down below and like, that would be really, really helpful. Again, my Instagram will be linked down below, and hopefully I can insert the pictures, but if not, follow the Instagram and I will post a montage of them, and it will just be probably the newest post because I don't post a lot on there. Thank you. Have a nice day.